now, in the recent weeks, Poland became the first country to announce that they are sending fighter jets to Ukraine, the MiG-29s, another Soviet-era weapon that Poland had in its arsenal. Later on, Slovakia announced that they are also sending 13 of their own. Poland will probably send somewhere around 20, but the first 4 should go in the coming days. So this role as a catalyst, you could say, is a role that Poland has played from the start. They initially offered the MiGs back in March last year, so just a few weeks after the invasion. Back then, the Poles, they wanted an international coalition to be created. They wanted to send the MiGs to a US airbase in Germany, Ramstein, and from there it would be transferred as an entire NATO operation with under US umbrella, so to say. Back then, the Western countries were too fearful of escalation, and the plan didn't go through. But 1 year later, Ukraine has lost additional fighter jets of their own and are in desperate need of having their own arsenal restocked. So Poland decided that enough is enough, and the planes will be going. So a lot of international observers are asking this question: why is Poland so adamant about making sure that Ukraine receives as much aid as possible, whether military, financial, or humanitarian? And you could say that there are 3 main reasons. The first one is purely political, or rather geopolitical. It is simply in Poland's national security interest. Poland neighbors, many people forget about this, but Poland directly neighbors with Russia through the Kaliningrad enclave in the north. So while other countries, whether France, Spain, Hungary, or anywhere else, might feel that Russia is a little bit further away, the Poles, they know that they have quite significant Russian military forces just across the border in the north, which technically could be, if unopposed, they could be in the city of Gdańsk in the matter of an hour, or even less if there would be
it's a very
invasion
short
from the sea.
distance if folk are not familiar with the geography.
Yes. So that is, you could probably say, the main reason, simply. When it comes to international politics, most of the decisions are taken out of a national security interest, out of the so-called school of realism of international relations, where ideals are maybe a little bit less important than self-interest. However, if we look at the second and third component, here we have what the either liberal school of international relations or the constructivist school of international relations would stress are the important part of international relations. The liberal school claims that this is all about democracy and also having an international rules-based order, which was created initially after the First World War with the creation of the League of Nations, and which was even further strengthened after the Second World War with the creation of the UN, the Bretton Woods system, and this international concept of a rules-based international order. The constructivist school would claim that it is more about the values that we have, the emotions that we feel, and it has to be said that here is also a component that would influence Poland's decision-making process in the weeks leading up to the war, immediately after the outbreak of the war, and ever since. And here we have, you could say, 2 or even 3 components of this issue. One is the historical memory of the Poles, how they view their own history, what they have lived through, or what the nation has suffered through over the centuries. and here naturally I have in mind how it was treated by the Soviet Union. The Poles, they can be very empathetic to the Ukrainian cause because they remember themselves being under attack in 1939, having had various agreements with other powers of mutual assistance, whether the French and Polish alliance from 1921 or the much fresher British-Polish pact of mutual assistance that was signed on August 25th, 1939, so less than a week before the German invasion.
Adam, sorry, I'm going to have to... The clock in the corner of the room is doing its usual blinking at me, so I'm going to have to ask you to pause there, but fear not, we'll pick it up next time. There we are. I've had to interrupt Adam almost in mid-sentence, but fear not, if you join us next time, as we hope you will, we'll pick up the story here on Poland Daily History. In the meantime, thank you for watching.